So how many years has Arlene Phillips been a choreographer? The answer is 35 years.
Arlene Phillips started her dance career in 1974, creating routines for the dance troupe Hot Gossip. That is 4 years before Alicia was born and 20 years before I was... Anyway, I was doing my GCSEs at the time. You're watching The Right Stuff live on 5 with Yasmin Ali Brown, Christopher Biggins and our special guest Denise Black, and you can catch her with the Loose Screws performing at the Bedford pub in Balham, London on Sunday. A little later this morning on this show, is it a crime to leave kids under 9 to play unsupervised in a park, say, for even the briefest of moments? 0207 173 5555 is the number if you've got something to say. Right now, though, everyone's still talking about it. I want to know what should you do if you object to the BBC replacing Strictly judge Arlene Phillips with a younger model. 30-year-old Alicia Dixon, who won the BBC One dance competition a couple of years ago, will replace the veteran choreographer when the hit show returns in the autumn. Now, BBC One boss Jay Hunt said Strictly needed refreshing. A new flavour was the way she put it. But she denied the change was in any way ageist or sexist. Fair enough. And yet hundreds of you disagree. Why act's the only woman of a certain age, you shrieked? Why not a male judge, 65-year-old Len Goodman, for example, or the show's star presenter, 81, Brucey? But they haven't, thank heavens. We couldn't do it without Brucey. So what are you going to do about it, folks, if you object? Well, I watched the comic Helen Lederer moaning about the acting of 66-year-old Arlene on the BBC at the weekend, and she was brilliant. And at the end of this very, very passionate monologue, they asked her, will you be watching Strictly Come Dancing when it comes back in September? And she went, yes. And I thought, oh, surely, if you feel the Beeb is being ageist or sexist, something it constantly denies, you've got to make a stand and watch something else instead. Because if fewer than 10 million people tune in, which is Strictly's past average audience, Auntie will know she's made a big mistake. Go on then, Denise, what do you think?
I think that everybody over 50 should go out on the streets immediately and start a mass revolt.
Revolution! Revolution!
Chain ourselves to the railings and grind the country to a halt. Now, let's go. Come on.
Okay. It does seem there's an awful lot of moaning, hundreds and hundreds of complaints. I wonder whether it will have any impact when the show returns.
No. I mean, the fact is that if Bruce is so old, they probably want somebody young because it's a better story. But there's other old people on television.
The problem is she is the only woman, isn't she?
On the panel,
On the panel. But they are bringing someone else, another woman in on the panel.
Darcy Bustle, but only not all the way through the show, towards the end.
Oh, really? Because, of course, Darcy is a brilliant ballet, is a brilliant dancer, so she would know.
What would she? She's
a
ballet dancer.
She's a prima ballerina, not a ballroom dancing champion.
Well, but
ballroom dancing is all about the precision of ballroom dancing. Exactly. I guess it takes a while to study that. You can't just assume, because someone can do a magnificent pas de deux, that they would somehow have a massive grasp of the tango, like Yasmin, for example, who I know is a secret ballroom dancer.
Oh, wants to be, yes. I just love the idea. And actually, it was watching Strictly that even made my very English husband say, we should do this. But this is also, you know, the context is interesting because the BBC has been accused again and again over the years that newsreaders who are female, you know, are got rid of at a certain age, including Moira Stewart, who's, you know, really more beautiful than David Dimbleby, I think. You know, and there's been this complaint, and it's a serious complaint, and they do not take it seriously.
Maybe
I think Arlene is very sad. I think she's brilliant at her job. You know, she's got the experience, she knows. I always, if I watched it, which was very rare, I always liked hearing what she had to say because she was very spot on. Yeah. However, it will make absolutely no difference. If it's getting 10 million viewers and hundreds are complaining, what does that mean?
I'm staying with a friend of mine who's in her 80s, Pam Gems, and she said, darling, in this country, we're just not very good at sex. She feels absolutely militantly that one continues as a sexual being throughout one's life and that what we do as a culture is just pretend that it's all over somewhere in the middle and get rid of all women, just as you're getting in your prime, girls.
Well, I tell you what I didn't like. It was the point Helen Lederer made at the weekend was that by saying that the show needs refreshing, that if the secret ingredient to refresh something is to get rid of the older woman and replace the younger woman, it just sort of says that it just makes older people redundant. They're somehow damaging a brand.
The younger woman is, a certain kind of younger woman who's very sensual, who's...
Beautiful, lovely.
Beautiful, lovely.
Lovely girl.
And that's partly... I would be very insulted if I were her too, actually.
Why?
Because it's a kind of an ornament is being brought on the show, so young men will watch.
But no, I mean, the argument she would say, and I've heard her use it, is I've been through the experience of being in this competition. I know what the contestants are going through. I can understand, da-da-da-da. Unfortunately for her, the BBC says it's no longer a competition. So John Sargent, right, he was encouraged or whatever to leave because he was damaging a competition because he was rubbish. OK, and now the BBC says it's not a competition, it's an entertainment show. I'm lost, but the real point is I'm sick of everybody moaning about it. So I either moan about it and stop watching or shut up. Let's find out what you'll do. Kirsty.
We have Linda on line 1.
Linda, good morning.
Hello.
Are you a moaner? Do you think Arlene's been badly treated?
I'm afraid I am a moaner. I'm a militant moaner. I'm very angry about Arlene being replaced. No objection to the beautiful Alicia coming along. If they want to refresh the show, why not have her as an extra judge?
OK. What are you going to do about it? Because that's not happening. So what are you going to do about it? Are you going to carry on watching?
Won't watch. I promise you I won't. Much as I love the show, I'm just really angry. I've never phoned a programme like this, but I have to say this is something that's made me very angry because it's indicative, I think, of the kind of ageist attitudes that exist in the BBC.
Can I just ask you, Linda, when you say ageist, do you also mean sexist? Because...
I mean both. Yes. Because, yes, it's both, because obviously someone mentioned about lovely Len. I wouldn't want to see Len axed at all. I think he's wonderful. But, you know, we're refreshing the show, so get rid of Arlene. I think that is just reinforcing the view that women of a certain age should be invisible, really. And that's why I'm very angry about it. And I think all women should go out on the streets, like your panellist said. Show themselves.
Denise, revolutionary Denise.
Yeah, absolutely. Isn't that sad, the idea that you'd ring in and say that you feel that people want you to be invisible? That's a good reason for
she's right, though, isn't it?
Yes,
absolutely. That is at the very essence of this, is the message it sends out about women of a certain age. And that's why it's not just ageist, it is sexist, I guess. If you take that view. Thank you, Linda. Let's have another.
We have Claude on line 4.
Claude, good morning.
Good morning.
What do you think, sir?
Well, I believe that it is right to replace her or anybody else who has been on a show for many years and give other people a chance.
OK, so...
irrespective of her age, I think, you know, that she's had...
Claude, you've got your telly on. It's impossible to have a conversation with somebody in a time lag. We do ask all our callers, when we speak to them before they go on air, not to have the telly on. So thank you for the call. Let's take one more.
We have Christine on line 2.
Christine, good morning.
Oh, good morning, Matthew.
Is it time to give other people a chance, as Claude was saying there?
Absolutely not.
Why not?
They had a good programme with everybody. It was a good product, and why do they have to change it?
To keep it fresh.
Absolutely unbelievable that they would take Arlene off with all her experience. It was just right. It was a good show, and as far as I'm concerned, it's an absolute no-no. My husband and I, Arlene, Alicia Dixon might be a young, pretty thing, but as soon as she opens her mouth, I cannot stand her.
Let me just tell you, Christine, at the risk of offending the ladies on the panel, when they got rid of that old crone, Sharon Osbourne, from the X Factor, and replaced her with the youthful, spirited Cheryl What's-It, she's gone on, ratings have soared, the programme is more popular than ever.
Look, you can't replace experience, can you? You don't send a plumber to do a carpenter's job.
Bless you, Christine. Thank you for the call.
I like Christine.
I like her too. I like her too. Right, done. That's it. Last word on Arlene Phillips for now. After the break...